Becky, it's time for Morning Glory. My name is MC Kalia and I'll be your captain for the next 1 hour 30 minutes. Let's have this conversation going. Good morning, everybody. Wakey, wakey. It's time for Morning Glory. My name is MC Kalia and I'll be your captain for the next 1 hour 30 minutes. Let's have this conversation going. Good morning, everybody. Wakey, wakey. It's time for Morning Glory. My name is MC Kalia and I'll be your captain for the next 1 hour 30 minutes. Let's have this conversation going. 'Good morning, everybody. Wakey, wakey. It's time for Morning Glory. My name is MC Kalia and I'll be your captain for the next 1 hour 30 minutes. Let's have this conversation going. 'Good morning, everybody. Wakey, wakey. It's time for Morning Glory. My name is MC Kalia and I'll be your captain for the next 1 hour 30 minutes. Let's have this conversation going.
40 minutes past the hour, 7 in the AM, the 10th day of March 2023. My name is MC Kalia. This is the Morning Glory Show, and welcome to this particular broadcast. Of course, being Friday, it is the Sporty Friday. Of course, Sports Watch coming live from Dawi Afrique Photography. Dawi Afrique Photography is situated in Eldoret at a place called Zion Mall. So anytime you need anything that goes into video photo production, consider working with Dawi Afrique Photography. The festive season is here. Now, bookings for March, April, and May are ongoing. If you would want to have a beautiful experience in front of the camera, then consider working with Dawi Afrique Photography. Then also, I would just love to remind you that we dress to be addressed. And if you want to dress to be addressed, consider walking into D Square fashion house. Of course, I'm pausing because I don't want to make an error. Because there is D Square Fashion House, then there is D Square School of Fashion Design and Tailoring. Now, if you want to dress to be addressed, basically just walk into D Square Fashion House and you get to be dressed. But then if you want to learn to dress people to be addressed, then you walk into the Heart of Fashion. That is the School of Fashion Design and Tailoring. This School of Fashion Design and Tailoring is situated at the 4th floor of Ketia's building in Eldoret, just adjacent to the fashion house. So the niceness, the goodness of studying from this School of Tailoring and Fashion Design is that you get an opportunity to train and in turn at the fashion house. So anytime you have anything practical, then you don't just do it on books. You also get a chance to learn from the best who work at D-Square Fashion House. Now moving on swiftly to what we need to be doing today. Today we are focusing on women and football, or rather the state of women's football in Kenya. And with me in studio is Charity. Charity is the women's representative of the Football Association in Uasin Gishu. Apart from that, also she is the CEO of a football club called Bondeni FC, among many other things that she does in the sporting fraternity. With her is also the assistant captain of Bondeni FC and also the captain for Bondeni Divas. Now, Bondeni FC is the male team within Bondeni, while Bondeni Divas then carries the ladies. And as we focus on the state of women football, we thought, why not have males also to say what they have? Of course, this is in focus to the Women's International Day. So, without wasting much time, I'll give them a chance to introduce themselves, starting with the lady at the center, that is Charity. She is actually the bazoo in this particular team. So. Say hi to our viewers, Charity.
Hi, Kalia. Hi, viewers. A very good morning. We are very glad to be here.
Of course, just continue.
Yeah, we are very glad to be part of the...
I'm sorry, I think your mic is not on. Is it blinking orange? Do you have an orange on it? Okay. You now have the orange, right? Yeah. Thank you so much. So I think we can get you now. But then as they continue to fix Charity's mic, I need to also continue telling you some of the good things that Charity does in the society. She actually, Bondeni FC rehabilitates children. The club is situated around a slum area in Eldoret, and they actually rehabilitate kids and youth into playing football. So I think her mic has been fixed right now, and we're just about to hear from the horse's mouth. Of course, I'm not calling you a horse. Karibu sana.
Thank you very much, MC Kalia. Good morning to our viewers as well. We are privileged to be part of the Morning Glory Show this Friday. So my name is Charity Wang'oma, just as you've said. But in the world of football, my name is MAMA DIOUF. So I'm here today wearing 3 hats. I'm here as the women representative for Uasin Gishu County Football Association. I'm also here in my capacity as the founder and CEO of MAMA DIOUF Soccer Foundation. And then lastly, I'm here as also the founder and the president of Bondeni Football Club. So Bondeni Football Club is a club that has around 175 boys and girls, right from the ages of 6 to 23. So we have the junior teams, and then we have the senior teams. On my left is the assistant captain.
Of course, I can just give them a chance to introduce themselves. They look like people who've come of age.
It's all right.
Okay, I'm told she's called Marilyn. But then, Marilyn, karibu sana, tueleze jina and also tell us what exactly you do in that team.
Thank you very much for this opportunity. I'm so glad to be with you here. My name is Marilyn Mungau. Football is a passion. I've played football since I was very little until now. I still play. I'm the captain, Bondeni Divas, the club for the ladies, or maybe representing women in the team. Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much for that. I'll also give a chance to the gentleman, the only gentleman here. Of course, you know, this has been actually a women's week. And so we just have, I would say, a drop. Anyway, at least the 2/3 gender rule has been achieved. So there is some equity here. Karibu sana, bro. Welcome.
Okay, good morning everyone, viewers back at home. Today is a Friday, right? Yeah, I believe if this is a Friday, tomorrow is Men's Day. For example, now we have footballers, tomorrow we have a football match. Somewhere. You just have to add the results tomorrow, okay? Okay, my name is Samimo George. I'm the assistant captain, Bondeni FC, senior team. Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much. Of course, starting in there with some little bit of politics, of course, we'll be able to handle that together with the ladies. Anyway, back to you, Charity. Of course, as now we move towards, of course, you've said you wear so many hats. Let's start with this thing you mentioned about, before we come to Mama Diouf, where you draw your name.
Yeah.
Let's talk about a little bit about the women representative post. What exactly does it mean?
To be a women representative in football means a lot. You have to be at the grassroots level to identify, to nurture, to develop talented girls.
And maybe before we go there, then how do you get the post?
You are elected, actually. It is an elective post. People vie, you go out there, you campaign, you give your manifesto. If people think you can do the job, then they vote you in.
Who are the voters?
The voters are the officials of the clubs, the owners or the coaches of the various clubs in the county.
So there is an association then for all the clubs that exist within the county.
Yes.
Okay. So once you've been elected, then now you become the women representative.
Now you become the women representative. Now you serve. You go out there and serve. Yes.
Okay. How is it?
It's challenging. It's actually very challenging considering the fact that women football is still not fully embraced by most parents. It's very easy for a boy to get home late and tell the mother or the father that I was in the field playing football. They will say, okay, fine. But it's now difficult when a girl has to go home late and say that she was in the field playing football. You realize that when it's maybe a weekend and a girl wants to go play football or a boy wants to go play football, the parents will give the boy an okay. But the girl will be told, you have not washed the plates. You have not washed clothes. Have you cooked for your brother? Your brother has to go for a football match. Can you make him food so that he can go? So there's that lack of support right from the society, right from the house, right from home, from the parents. And then also the lack of resources. There's no money. So doing this takes a lot of time. You cannot have girls, in fact, the requirements of a girl to train are totally different from those of a boy. Mary will tell you. When a girl wants to go to the field, they have to put on sports bra. They have to put on bikers. They have to dress in a comfortable way so that they can train. So there's the lack of resources to get this equipment, football equipment, to ensure that everybody trains comfortably. So I think those are some of the challenges that are there. It's not easy. But on the other side, once you have mobilized resources and everything is okay, then you realize that there's so much potential. You become very proud of the kind of talent that is there at the grassroots, especially here in Uasin Gishu County. People say this is the home of athletics. They don't know what they're talking about. There's so much football talent in this county. Too much, actually. Yes.
Of course, we'll be coming to look at that particular talent. Now, as we move to Marilyn, of course, she said she's been playing football since she was little. So, of course, Marilyn will be able to tell us the experience of how she's played football. And Marilyn, you said you've played football since you were little. How's the experience been? How different is it to play football as a lady? And how different is it to play... Okay, how different is it to play football in a team where there are ladies and men?
Okay, for me, first of all, I come from the ghetto. So for training, since long time ago, I used to train with boys. But somehow, it's different for girls, most especially when you reach that puberty age, that time of the month. Some girls are afraid to go and train because something might happen. maybe they might feel ashamed. But when you are grown, you get used to the situation and you become comfortable.
Actually, you're the captain. You're the captain of the ladies branch of the team. What are some of the challenges that, apart from maybe the nature of being a woman and all that, what are the challenges do you face as women playing football?
The biggest challenge is the financial challenge, because we have to depend on maybe our mom here for so many things. Maybe she has to provide pads for some of us. Maybe she has to provide some uniforms uniforms for all of us. And maybe sometimes you are many, the uniforms are not enough pairs for all of us. Then another challenge comes with the parent. Not most of the parents accept that the girls have to play the same way the boys are playing. Some parents are still, the mindset is still against ladies playing football. In fact, when you tell, let's say a father, that I'm going to play football, then instead of the parent going to watch the game, they tell you, mi siendi kuona mpira ya wamama. Yeah.
Okay, of course, that is exactly the state of football in Kenya, women's football. That is what we are focusing today on the Morning Glory show. But then also, if you're already on the broadcast, remember to help me share the broadcast. I would want to see as many people as possible watching this particular broadcast. Of course, let's continue to support our women. This has been the Women's International Week. I would say, okay, Wednesday was the International Women's Day, and we looked at different aspects different things that affect women in terms of their growth and space within the country and even across the globe. And today we are focusing on the state of women's football in Kenya. Now, I'll be going to the gentleman, the only gentleman in the room, that is the captain for Bondeni FC. Bro, you've been training with ladies, of course. How different is it now being in a team that has both women and men for you?
Okay, what I can say is that the difference which is there is that you find out that when we train together as boys and girls on the same field, or we are being balanced together, you may find, for example, we are 5-5 each, then you have 3 ladies in your team also there. And then maybe you pass the ball, she misses the control and whatever, you get bored, right? If you just feel you are bored, but you can't show it. Maybe, okay, ladies are fragile. The moment you shout at her or tell her this and that, she'll get bored and maybe she can leave, she can cry, all that. So that's one of the problems.
And how have you dealt with that? Has it changed the way you relate with women? Has it bettered the person you are?
Okay, for now, we have a coach who is coaching both of us. Maybe if there are 2 or 1, is enough for both of us. So what we need to do as boys players, we need to support our ladies. If she does something wrong, I need to tell her this is the right way to do it. If she can't control the ball, I need to show her how to control that ball. If she has that kind of attitude, I need to say that this football, we need this kind of attitude we don't want, we need them this one. So it's just to show them the right way to follow and the rules of the game. Okay, because all of us are not perfect. Yeah, we need to be our brothers and sisters keepers. Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much. Of course, we are talking to the Bondeni FC. Of course, a charity carrying a lot of hearts, and that's why I'll be going to most of the time. And Charity, coming back to you, of course, you argued that the state of women's football in Kenya is better than that of men. What informs your opinion, rather?
Initially, the women football was looked at as second class, but the women have proved themselves that they are better. So if you look at the performance of Harambee Starlets, versus the performance of Harambee Stars, then it is evident that the women are doing better than the men. If I look at the Women Premier League right now, it is more competitive, it is more fire than the men's Kenya Premier League. So, I mean, that is why I can say with a lot of confidence that the women are doing better than the men. There's a lot of improvement, actually. Even in performance. You watch a women game, you watch a men's game, then you see that there's a lot of improvement, and by the look of things. And it's not only me saying this, even the CS Ababu Namamba said just a few days ago that from what you can see, the women are going to go to the World Cup way before the men do. Yes.
Okay. And that should, that looks like a nice thing. Of course, we have your feedback coming in. CK Kim says, good morning, getting you loud and clear. Nikiwa Eldoret. Then there's Joseph K. Chumba says, good work, Charity. You need to be supported. You are doing, you're a strong woman, very creative and ready to change the society. Sports is the way to go. Thank you so much for that feedback. Continue sending in more feedback. I'll be sampling it as the show continues. If you're already on the broadcast, if it is your first time to be on the broadcast, of course, click the notification button. Let me know you're here. And of course, if you also I've not shared this with your friend, of course, help me share it with your friend, and then also click the like button, because when you hit the like button, I get to know that you're actually watching the broadcast. Now, Charity, back to you once again. Now, let's talk about how different are the male's football, or first of all, how does it work? Where do you start as a team? Until now, you play in the women leagues. Maybe what are the leagues like? Does it resemble that of men, or are there any differences?
The structures are a little bit different, the structure of the men and the women. But also we've seen a lot of changes over the years, because initially all we had was the Women Premier League. So right now the women leagues are structured so that we start from the grassroots. We have women leagues starting right from the county level, and then we have the regional level. And then from the regional level, we have Division 1 women leagues, and then we don't have a national super league for women yet. So from the Division 1, we go straight to the Women Premier League. Well structured, not financed the way we would like to, but well structured. So that's a start.
Of course, you've mentioned finance so many times. It looks like a strong point that we need to come back to. Actually, somebody told me that the points have chosen to remain constant. Yeah. Lack of resources. What else do we say in history? There was lack of resources, competition, availability of similar goods in the market and all that. But then anyway, as we continue, I'll be going back to... I'd want to go back to Marilyn now. Marilyn, at the moment, what level or at what level do you play as Bondeni FC?
Bondeni FC, we are playing the regional league. We are not yet into the Division 1 league. Yeah.
You're playing at the regional league.
Yeah.
So what does that entail? Does it mean you play against other counties representing Uasin Gishu County?
It's not only within Uasin Gishu, but with the bordering counties.
With the bordering counties?
Yeah.
How is the experience so far?
Not bad, not bad.
And when does the league start?
It started last weekend. In fact, on Sunday, I think there's a match.
There's a match?
Yeah.
Okay, what's your expectation for this particular season?
We pray and hope that it will be a successful season so that we go to Div 1. Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much for that. Be going back to the gentleman in the team. Of course, bro, you've heard it. The lady saying that their football is better than our football. First of all, talk about the Kenyan football, the men football league. What do you think about it? And what do you think about the CS? Ababu Namamba saying that ladies could be going to the Premier League, to the World Cup rather, before even the men.
What she said about ladies go to the World Cup earlier, I think that's a fact. If you are keen enough, as our mama said here, the ladies football has been structured very well. There's that kind of supportive is there. There's minimal challenges which are there, and for them you just start from maybe grassroots level to Division 1, then from Division 1 direct to Kenya Premier League. But for us men, we found that we are coming from the sub-counties or branch league, you move to the county league, then you are in regionals, then you are in Division 2, Division 1, NSL, up to Cape Kenya Premier League. That's a very challenging and tough. You find out moving from those steps up there, first you need finance to support your boys. Playing, traveling, that's all need money. Yeah. Maybe you have men who come from far. You can't rely on your boys around. Maybe they're not enough to play. They can't fit in. They're not that much talented. You need to go somewhere and pick players. I believe for us as Bondeni FC, we are slum boys, right? But somehow you find there's also another slum teams, slum club somewhere. So the boys are also, we divide ourselves. We feel those other clubs. And you find also some of the boys' money is also another problem. I need to pay my rent. I need to feed. I must ask also. So you find that will force our team manager to look for boys somewhere and keep them within our reach. Yeah. So you find out that will be challenging to men football. And maybe let me just talk about corruption to our Kenya Premier League men football. Yeah, I see that.
So that's what is eating up the men's football.
That's the biggest challenge.
Now, you've all talked about finances, and we'll come there. But then before we come there, Mama Diouf, tell us about Diouf Football Foundation.
So, Mama Diouf Football Foundation is a foundation that I came up with to try and support or upgrade the girls and women in football, not necessarily players, but we also put a lot of emphasis on coaches, female coaches. We'd like to see a lot of training and capacity building for football coaches, female football coaches, female football referees, female team doctors, female club administrators. We are trying to ensure that we have a lot of female leadership at the national level. So Mama Diouf Foundation focuses on social economic empowerment and transformation of girls and women in football, not in Eldoret, in the entire country.
In the entire country?
Yes.
Tell us about your activities. What have you achieved so far?
So far, I've been able to organize a lot of seminars and workshops for the same, that is for training of coaches, training of referees, training of administrators. We have tackled a lot of issues that affect development and growth of women football. Issues to do with the stereotypes, bias, lack of funding that we are talking about, lack of media coverage. We are all out there waging war on the media, trying to have them come to the, to the fields to see what the girls are capable of doing. So I think I've also organized, as Mama Diouf, I've organized a lot of women tournaments in this country. I've worked with a lot of partners. There are partnering organizations that we share the same vision and mission. So every year, we have a Mama Diouf Cup. Every year. We had the last one in December. Last year, we are organizing another one. We have several events that are just aimed at, strengthening, giving the girls a voice, giving them visibility out there. Yes.
Okay. That's actually quite some good work, and you mentioned there about lack of media coverage. Of course, I'm happy that today you're on the Morning Glory show. Somebody ever argued and said that actually doing a lot of good work without involving the media is like winking in the dark.
True.
You're winking at, okay, I don't know why they were using a man, so they said it would look like a man winking to a lady in the dark. But then maybe today we need to say it's a woman winking at the dark to a man who actually can't see them. Anyway, now let's talk about, you've said that you train coaches, you train referees and all that. What is the state of officials, game officials in Kenya when it comes to referees? How many certified referees do we have, women referees do we have in Kenya, and what is the state at the moment?
Okay, this is my favorite topic. We have a lot of women coaches, women referees, but sustainability of the same is a big issue. When you organize a coaching course for girls, or for women, or a match official course for women, they turn up in large numbers. They train, they get the accreditations, they start their work. But now the biggest problem, you can say corruption, but that is when you're talking about men. For women, it is a serious problem for a woman coach to be appointed a coach of a good team. It is very difficult for a woman referee to officiate a match without, I will say this without mincing my words, a woman coach, a woman referee must give sexual favors to the appointing authority before they can be given matches to officiate. It is very sad. We have been fighting this. We had a workshop last year, December, with all the women referees and stakeholders, and we talked about this, but it's still the case. You train hard as a referee, you give it your all, you attend all PETs, all the tests, you are qualified, you are certified, but when it comes to giving you fixtures for the weekend, you go out to the field to officiate matches, unless uone mtu kando, yule mwenye anapoint, unless umwone kando, you will not go officiate any matches. But remember, for you to train, you have to pay. Some of these girls or women, this is their full-time job. So if this is what you are relying on, and you cannot be given the platform to perform just because you refuse to perform any sexual favors, then this is somebody that is killing your talent and career. So this is why we have had we have had a reduction in the number of active female referees, but the trained female referees, we have very high numbers. But most of them have shied away, because of this. Yes.
Okay, and quite unfortunate that we still have such happening in such a noble sport. Now, let's look at this. Of course, you've said that for a woman to officiate a match, it is quite hard. Yeah. Do you think also that maybe there is a difference between how a woman would maybe manage a game, or rather officiate a game, different from how a man will do it? Could that be the reason why women are facing so much hardship? And also, let's look at the solutions. What do you think should be done now that you've said you've had several seminars towards that?
Actually, if you talk to players, they will tell you that some of the matches that they've enjoyed the most are those that are officiated by women. Women do not have any bias. They do not have any competition with the male players in the field. They focus on that game 100%. So there's no difference between how a woman would officiate and how a man would officiate. The training is the same. The laws of the game are the same. They are applicable. The way the men apply them is the same way the women apply them. So there is nothing like that. So the way that we can overcome this, that we've been trying to do in our seminars, is just to empower the women to first of all know their rights. Once you know your right, and you know that you do not have, because you are qualified as a referee, you do not have to go hang out with somebody in order for you to get matches. Once you know your rights, then you can speak about your rights, you can defend your rights. And also, we've always had, I think one of the things that we are trying to push for is a committee that appoints referees should be a mixed committee. You cannot have a committee that appoints referee that is male-dominated and you expect the women to get a fair share. So we are asking, and we keep pushing this, that if a committee that appoints referees is made up of 5 or 7, then we must have 3 to 4. So that the women are well represented by people that understand their plight and can look out for them. Yes. Okay,
thank you so much. And let's talk about the time you think all this will take, because we are looking at women being in the World Cup. We are looking at having Kenyan women referees officiating AFCON and the World Cup. How long will this take? Now you've said what it will take. Yeah. How long?
It will take some time. It can take a very short time, or it can take a very long time. So right now, I think the buck stops with the minister for sports. He has to bring order into football. And then once there is order, and I think also we have to maybe look at the constitution well and look at the compositions of various committees. So, once this is enforced in the law, then it's very easy to implement it. And that can take just 1 year. But if we continue with things as they are, then I think it will take a very long time for things to, be fair for the women. Mm.
Okay, let's come back home. Of course, we're coming live from Dawi Afrique Photography. Dawi Afrique Photography is a production house based in Eldoret, Zanmol. And anytime you need anything that goes into video and photo production, we are the best people to deal with. I love using my guests, the three. That is, my guests can confirm that they're having a nice experience before the camera. So also, you may need to have some nice time in front of the camera. Now, well-captured memories, well-documented memories. The March, April, and May bookings are ongoing. Of course, you can even still book beyond that, because the earlier you book, then the better for you. Of course, the earlier you book also, the better for your pricing. You can still get better discounts when you book early enough. Also, I've told you about D-Square, School of Fashion Design. You need to enroll there. I know that apart from the football talent, we still have the design talent in us, and of course I usually say some of these things just require skills, and so you need to walk into D-Square School of Fashion Design and Tailoring. It is currently one of the best in Eldoret. Of course, having told you that they have a fashion house just next to the school, so that means from time to time you get a chance to learn from the best. But then also, let's talk about fair school fee prices, because as Mama Diouf has mentioned severally, she's mentioned about resources. It remains a limiting factor to so many other sectors, but then I can assure you that at D-Square School of Fashion Design, you'll get fair prices. I'll be mentioning some of the courses to you as we continue, but then all I need you to do right now is to just get, immediately the broadcast ends, try to enter into their page, look at what they're doing, because I can assure you that they're doing some nice work. Now, let's talk about resources. Of course, before we come back to look at Bondeni FC now more and understand the operations within the county. Let's look at resources. You've mentioned the issue of resources in football.
Yeah.
First of all, when you talk about resources, are we talking about support from government, or are we talking about the ability to generate resources within yourselves?
When we're talking about resources, we are talking about resources in a very large spectrum. So first of all, it is resources right from the team level. You realize that most of these clubs that you see around, people form the clubs or start the clubs based on passion and their love for the ball. And then, so a coach that loves football, mostly it's somebody that played football or is retired and thinks he can do something for the young people in the community. So he starts football right with the very few resources that he has. So once he has paid his rent and has fed his children, whatever little that he has, he puts it into football. So he starts small, but the team progresses. So then he realizes that he actually needs a lot of money. And that is when now you go to the local administration. So once the coach has done what he can within his little space, and now he's up there. So now he needs support from the county government. Let's start from the counties. We need support from the county governments. And then when you get out of the county, when you play now at the regional level or Division 2 and Division 1, then now you are looking at the federation. You're looking at the Football Kenya Federation to support the teams, to support the clubs. And the federation is looking at FIFA to support. Then apart from the federation, there's also the national government, the sports fund. There's the sports fund. So you are looking at the support from the sports fund, and it's not forthcoming. You're looking for support from the federation, it's not forthcoming. Money is coming in. You know the federation, like right now the federation is going to get 1.3 billion from FIFA. There is rumors out there that most of it is already arrived. I do not know. But this money will not be used for its intended purposes. So it's not like there's no money, there is money, but the money is not getting to the clubs where it's meant for. Most of the FIFA money is normally meant for football development. I can tell you, Kalia, that there's no football development that takes place at the Premier League level, at the National Super League level, Division 1, Division 2. There's no football development that takes place there. Football development takes place right here at the grassroots level, and I normally refer to the grassroots levels as the factories where we manufacture players. Gor Mahia cannot come to the village and pick a boy that cannot control the ball, cannot make complete passes, and go train. When they come here to scout, they look for top talent, one that the local coach has developed, has nurtured and grown, and is now ready. Then they take that kind of a player. So if somebody purports to use money meant for football development to give Premier League clubs, to give to National Super League clubs, then that is corruption of the highest order. Money that is meant for development of players should come straight to the clubs down here, so that the coaches can use that money to buy football equipment, to hire standardized fields where they can train. We are also having a problem with sponsors. Sponsors come in and then they withdraw. I'm sure you are aware of what happened with Super Sports. Among others, UNICEF was for very many years the sole 100% sponsor of women football in Kenya. But the kind of corruption that they witnessed, the kind of misappropriation of funds that they witnessed, made them withdraw. And this is happening also with several other potential sponsors. They come in, they commit amount of money that they want to use for supporting clubs, but they are told that maybe if a sponsor has a budget of 20 million, then they realize that 10 million of that money has to go to the federation for what they call administrative costs. So you look at it and you're like, okay, if I had 20 million and my budget was, I wanted to support maybe 100 grassroots clubs. So now
you're forced to support 50?
Yeah, so now I'm gonna support 50, and I think this is not, this was not my goal, so people shy off and withdraw. This has made it very difficult for sponsors to engage clubs, to support clubs, to support football in the country.
So you mean there's no actually way a sponsor can just support a club directly without going through the federation?
That is one of the things that the federation has made sure that any sponsor that wants to support a club must go through them. Yeah, it's actually very very bad when if you want to support maybe a club, an individual club, then it could be your arrangement with the club, but only at these lower leagues.
But then
for the higher leagues, there is no sponsor that will go and support a club without engaging the federation. And they have to get their cut for administrative
You called
costs.
it tithe?
Yeah. for administration, because it's very discouraging, because they slash almost half of the money. Mm.
Okay, thank you so much for that. Thank you also so much for the massive feedback you're getting. Alan Sanya anasema from Webuye, good work Mama Diouf. Indeed, you're great. Thank you so much. Mildred Sum says watching, tuned in from Zanmol. Terry Jerry says good morning. Continue with the great work, inspiring future generation. Eldoret FC wanasema good morning. Kabeko Kamkunji tuned in. Kimumu Youngsters Academy says best woman ever when it comes to soccer. She has a feeling for all the teams. Kimomo watching live. Liki Die had Bondeni FC. Thank you so much. Yano Leijin says tuned in. Kalia Shepkemoy says Stags influence there, telling them to come and watch. We have Tirop. Kiprotich Felix says good morning. Of course, we also have We also have Fanuel George says, I support the ladies going to the World Cup before the men. They give their hearts out on the field. Okay, we'll keep on sampling the comments as they come in also, and when we get a chance to do so. With us in studio is Mama Diouf, the founder of Diouf Football Foundation, and also the CEO of Bondeni FC. Just trying to help us understand exactly what is happening in the world of football, more so when it comes to women's football in Kenya. She's in with the two of our players. Of course, we'll get a chance to see the man against the lady do some Opepeto challenge. So you need to wait for that actually. At the end of the they're just going to do an Opepeto challenge in a few minutes, of course. But then before we go there, we now need to also, there's a question I'll keep on asking you. You've mentioned a lot of things. Talked about the federation. Of course, I have a friend who loves football, and they told me that players need to win both in the field and outside the field, meaning that they must make something out of it. That it is no longer time that we told people that football is to contain youth from being rowdy and all that, because once you've contained them, you've put them in the field, what are you giving them at the end of it all? And that now is the biggest question that we have. Now, looking at the issues you've raised a lot of issues. As much as we'd say women's football is better, just looks like it is still facing the same challenges that the men's football is facing. And if you also talk to athletes, because I do talk to them, they will give you almost the same issues. Where's the problem? Is it a societal problem? What happens to people when they go up there as leaders? Then also, as you answer that, let's look at this. Let's try to look at what will it take for us to sort this mess once and for all. Where does the buck, or who does the buck stops with?
When people are campaigning and making their manifestos and making their promises for the things they're going to do for clubs and football, they present very attractive manifestos. They give hope. It's not different from the politics of the nation. You know, when you're campaigning, you want to be an MCA or an MP, the things you tell people versus the things you do. So I don't know whether it's a Kenyan thing. You just go there and lie to the to the public about the things you're capable of doing once you're elected, and then once you get into office, I don't know what happens. It's the same thing that happens in football. You get aspirants that have very attractive manifestos. They come up and tell you, I'm going to look for sponsors that are going to support clubs. And once they get into the office and money come in, they forget about all that they'd promised. They don't want to go out there and they forget to be servants. They forget to be servants. They forget that they're supposed to work for people. They're supposed to work for clubs, for the betterment of football in the country. So you are asking me how we are supposed to
Yeah, when will all these end? Because you ask everyone the same thing and they tell you the same thing. And we are pointing to a very small group of people.
We have to do a complete overhaul of the leadership. Now, I told somebody that we have to do a complete overhaul I think last week, and he asked me, where are we going to get these new people? Are they going to come from a different planet? Or are they, we have this issue of recycling leaders every year. And this is not just in football, it's also just in the other spheres of life. But now, when you're talking about football, I don't know how this is going to sit with some people, but the good thing is I'm Mama Diouf and I speak my mind. Right now, 2 years ago, we saw the then Minister of Sports, Amina Mohamed, suspend the entire FKF Secretariat. And then she brought in a caretaker committee that was running football affairs until the end of the season. So then the new minister came in and reinstated the NEC. So right now people, you might not know this, but people are, preparing for elections that are likely to happen next year, it is the same people. It is the same people that are, positioning themselves for the same positions. You get.
So we expect not much of change.
We don't expect any change. We expect zero changes.
Do you have channels to talk about this? Do you have a way of reaching to the minister?
We do have a way of reaching the minister. This is one of the ways of reaching the minister. We are expecting that the minister...
Actually, somebody tag in His Excellency.
Yes.
Or rather, Honorable Ababu Mwamba. And even if you can tag in the president, hatuna shida.
Hatuna shida. Yeah.
If you can all help me tag him, because I think this is a conversation that we actually need to have as a country.
Yeah. And what I think he should do, which he's not doing, I mean, some WhatsApp groups and some forums where people are really castigating him already. So we expected that the moment, because Ababu Mwamba is not new in sports. He's been there previously.
There before, yeah.
Yes. So all the problems that were there are still there today. So we personally expected that when he was coming back as a sports minister, he would have already, because he had the background. And also he's not living in a vacuum. He's there even when he was not minister for sports. He is here. He knows what's happening. He sees, he reads, he watches news. He talks to people. He actually loves sports. So he goes to the fields to watch, and he knows the problems that people face. So I expected that the moment he takes office, he would have started with very radical steps. I didn't even expect him to reinstate the secretariat. He would have come up, first of all, with a committee that would run the football affairs until a new constitution is passed and election is carried out so that we have a new crop of leaders.
Somebody says that it was because that we had been suspended and we needed to come back to FIFA.
What is the hurry? You can be suspended. You can stay out for 5 years, put your house in order so that when you get back, it is big, it is beautiful, it is awesome. Yes, what is the hurry? We are still not going to the World Cup. What are we missing out? Nothing. All the local leagues were being played. So this was actually the time for them to just disband everything, come to the grassroots, start picking again new talent, and form a new national team. We cannot also keep recycling old players every time. Okay, we are calling back Oliesh, we are calling...
Oliesh bwana, wewe uko wapi bwana? Hebu kuja. Oliesh kuja hapa, tuko na game Saturday.
There is talent hapa chini. See, have you seen what Nzoia Sugar is doing right now? These people are going down there and getting, players from the village. And there's talent. We don't want to see same faces, same experiences, same results every day. We are behaving like a country that does not have talent. We have talents. Beautiful talents. Awesome talents. Wachukue vijana wadogo, by the way.
Let me talk to the talents now that they're in the
talents.
house, of course. Let me move to Marilyn. Marilyn, you've heard MAMA DIOUF speak, and of course, you're part of Bondeni FC. And listening to all these, of course, I know you are aware of all these problems and all that. Well, what do you think is the future of football with people like you in it?
The future is female.
The future is female?
Yeah.
What does that mean?
Very bright. Yeah, because if we, like for our team, there is no biasness, there is no age limitations. If you know how to play, you know how to play.
If you don't know how to play, you don't know how to play.
But if you don't know how to play, there is
Then
a
you
but.
learn, okay?
There is a but. You learn. You come for the training. We give you the coach gives all of us a chance. There is no exceptions. You express your talent, your passion. In fact, for most of those players who know how to play, in fact, mostly are the ladies, the pride comes in. But the coach has no exceptions. If you start being prideful, you will sit at the bench, then that young girl, standard 6 or grade 6 girl, will be put in your position and play. Yeah.
Okay. The future is actually female. My name is MC Kalia, coming live from Diouef Africa. Of course, it is a very beautiful conversation about football. There is somebody called Yvonne Noble Chimba says, good morning, Nico, tuned in. Tiro Felix says, Mama Diouf, sharing some wisdom, time to learn. Thank you so much. So Nawiti says, good morning, I'm all in, will support you all the way, my friend. Thank you so much for that. Mildred Zoom tagging in a lot of friends there. Of course, let's continue tagging in friends. Also, click the notification button so that next time we go live, you're able to actually watch that. Now, I only have a problem with one person on this particular broadcast. That is Fanuel saying that he wants me to be part of the Perpetual Challenge. Fanuel, you will not succeed. No weapon formed against me shall succeed. Anyway. Now, let's talk about Bondeni FC for a minute. What is the dream behind it? How do you guys operate?
Bondeni FC, I'll start by just saying how it was, the idea was conceived. I'd just moved into a neighborhood, and just behind my neighborhood is a ghetto. So I'd go through the ghetto, go do my stuff, and I would see a group of boys, old enough, people 18, 19, old enough, playing football. Ile soka ya kujitengeneza ilikuwa inaitwaje? Lifundo.
Lifundo, yeah.
Yeah, so I'd look at them and I'd be like, this age is too big for
Lifundo.
Yes, for Lifundo. Like, what's happening? So I started talking, engaging with them, because actually they would take the whole day there, and I have a farm just after the slum. So I would tell them, we twendeni niwapatie kazi mfanye huko kwa shamba. Na mbona mnachezaga bola? Sisi tunapenda ball sana. Watu wa Lifundo. So they cannot access a football, but because they have the passion, they can build themselves a ball. So with time, as we continued engaging, I bought a ball. I gave it to them, and then they told me, "Do you know we can actually register in the league?" So I was wondering, we can register in the league, like there are leagues in Eldoret, and I'd been in Eldoret for some years because I was a student right here at the University of Eldoret, and I'd never known that there were leagues. Personally, I played football in high school. I played football in college. This is something I loved. And if there was structured leagues here, I'm sure that is how I would be spending my weekends. But I was not even aware that there was structured leagues in Eldoret, that leagues were going on. The only times, if you look up Facebook, I'm called Kogalo Diva. I used to follow the ninis of Gor Mahia so much. I would follow them to wherever, because I didn't know that there were leagues right here in Uasin Gishu. So the moment they brought this to my attention, I said, okay, let's start. Let's do this. So when we started, it was just for the boys at the ghetto. The ones I'd seen playing. But because they say the touch and the management of a woman is different. There were so many teams in Uasin Gishu County, but this one, I started managing it differently. And boys talk to each other. So the boys would go tell the others, hey, you can come to our club. This is
mama.
This is what happens. The mama feeds us. Something that they'd never seen. We have jerseys, we have, we look like this is what, come and join us. And also, because our club is located just around the Eldoret Polytechnic, Catholic University, Baraton, we started getting now players from the colleges as well, joining us, bringing in a lot of diversity. But our dream and our goal was rehabilitation of the slum boys and girls. We make them build themselves through football. We were actually, I was just using football to provide them with a platform, to better, to better themselves. But the dream has grown so big. We have grown right now. Right now we have players coming in from other counties to just play.
And you've said 175 youth. How do you manage them?
It's not so hard because most of the boys and girls are in school. They come to the club when schools are closed. Yes, but they stay with their parents. But now the senior team, especially the senior team for boys, because some of them are just focused 100% on football, we have to house them. in the clubhouse. They have to stay in the clubhouse, operate from the clubhouse. Theirs is to play. Somebody like Marilyn has a lot of experience. Now, we talk about the girls. She has played right from the time she was a child. By the time I was meeting her, she was already an established player. I think Marilyn, you even played Premier League, right? Yeah.
Tell us about it.
I've played all leagues. I even played the Chapadimba na Safaricom Challenge twice. Yeah.
Chapadimba twice. Take us through the experience of going through the ranks bana. Imekuwa aje labda because we're talking about Bondeni FC here. And we're talking about starting all the way from the grassroots, then rising up and all that. You've gone through that lane. How has it been for you?
It's a great experience because, in fact, it makes me feel happy. The young girls in the team, in fact, I had the little girls, I think it was grade 6 or something. We have little girls in the team who just follow us around. Sometimes they come to be ball girls, or they maybe like football. They don't even know how to play. So they were playing the game for girls. I don't know what its name.
Katia magani?
Hii usijui wanapika, mwingine ni mama.
Okay, Chalongo.
Hiyo. So one girl said, now you know me, in this game I'll be Marilyn. And Marilyn, she goes to play football. I was like, wow. So this girl
is actually getting inspired by what you do.
Yeah. So when I play, I go play maybe when I used to play the Premier League, I could come back to the team. I call myself a matron. I'm the matron. They look up to me. I talk to them. If there's anything, we sit down. I talk to them. If it's beyond me, I take it to mom. Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much for that. And of course, now having shown that there's evidence that actually we can have people starting all the way when they were kids to the extent that they look like Marilyn right now. Yeah. That should give you hope.
It gives me a lot. It gives me a lot of hope. Actually, I was bringing her example. Because this is an example of a girl that defied all the odds, at that young age. She started playing, I think, when she was in grade 5 or 6, and she grew. She's played Premier League, Women Premier League. She's played in the Division 1. Right now, in fact, she's not even supposed to be playing at the regional league level, but she's taking a little break. This is a girl that is a graduate of the university. And she is an ardent player and a lover of sports. So what I'm doing with her right now, I'm trying to groom her into something different. And that is what we are trying to do for even girls that are retiring. I think you know about the biological clock. Girls cannot play forever. Yes. So it reaches a time when people look at them and they're like, you need to have a baby, you need to have a husband. So does that mean that their football career is over? No. So what do they do when that time comes? When that time comes now, we want to bring them in as coaches, as referees, as administrators, so that they can also now start nurturing. Now she told you she's like a matron to the young girls. So what we're trying to do, this year will not end without her having her own license as an administrator, so that she can do more now. She can impart the knowledge that she's gained over the years and the experiences into the young upcoming girls.
Okay, thank you so much for that. Of course, a very interesting conversation, but then of course we must also start wrapping up. And I know there's a man on the show who actually, leo bro, mambo ilikuwa, it's been the Women's International Week, and we actually just brought you as a specimen, so. Anyway, so bro, having had all these, and you part of this, as a man, of course, now playing for Bondeni FC. First of all, give us your experience being part of the team. Ulianza kucheza lini na labda umedevelop aje kimchezo?
Okay, personally, I've started playing this football a long time ago when I was still a young boy. At the age of 7, 10, we are in an academy. You're being taught how to control the ball, pass and follow, those all sort of academy thing. Until, let me just say the senior football I started to play when I was in class 7, when I used to represent my primary school. I believe I was the captain by then.
So much shule gani by the way?
I studied in a primary school called St. Anne's within Kisumu.
Oh.
Yeah.
I thought it was somewhere in Eldoret. I'll tell you about all the behaviors of all the schools in Eldoret.
Mine is in Eldoret.
Which school did you go
Langas
to?
Primary School.
Langas Primary School. Hawasongeange gari kwa barabara. I know all the schools by behavior and everything. Hao gari inakujanga and they wamekaa unasikia pipi wametembea tu kama kondoo. Anyway, back to you.
Okay, but that we used to have this coach called Coach Figo. He used to cane us. Yes, come to zoezi, umechelewa, ambia lala chini.
Tom Shipi ana deal na vizuri.
Kwanza mnacheza na wasichana. Wakiwafunga anatoa mtu mmoja. Mnabaki less. Wakiwafunga tena anatoa mtu mmoja.
Hadi unabaki wewe peke yako na wasichana.
Unabaki wewe peke yako. Tena after hiyo tena ni kiboko. Lala chini kiboko. So unapata kama hiyo una grow up mentally strong. Unajua hapa place nimefika, I need to be tough hapa here. Hata kama upewa game ya kucheza na mtu above you by at least hata kama ni 20 and then you are under 15, you are strong. That's why you find nowadays high school footballers, those who play for high school, they are 17 years, 16 years, but they are tough. Yeah, they can contain a very serious team. Like if you love watching this, our Kenya Premier League or Kenya tournaments, you find out that like last weekend we had a Betway Cup. You find a way more fights just a small boys playing a Division 1 league, play against KCB, but they drew 0-0. That's a very good example. So you grow up being strong. So by the time I was in Form 1, in high school also, I just continued my playing. I was a good experience. Then after that, I used to train with one of the Premier League side called Western Steamer, if you know the club. It no longer exists. Then Small Stars. And then after that, I joined a Division 1 club called Bandani FC before I signed for Bondeni in 2019. So then that's when I moved from Kisumu to Eldoret. Yeah. And then I found my mom who welcomed me and told me to come to a club. Then I signed for that. I'm in love with the club. I love the club.
How different is it playing for Bondeni against other clubs that you've played for?
Okay, what I need to for a fact is this: playing under a team managed by a woman is a blessing. Yeah. It's a really blessing. I'm sure there's no club outside here where...
Actually almost jumped up. Anyway, let's continue.
I'm sure there's no club outside here which is managed by a woman where you'll find a player having 3 meals. She calls you at my son, are you taking something for supper? My son, are your boots okay? Utapata kweli.
Ati mwanaume anakupigia, hello, ni aje bro?
Ni aje bro?
Uko umekula wewe?
Umelala aje leo? Asubuhi umeamka aje? Do you have anything to do or you are going to the field? No, utapata.
Okay.
So playing under a woman is a blessing to me, and I'm happy being here. And I'm willing, maybe if God willingly, connection nitoke niende sitasahau. Unaona. So okay, I'm also an experienced player. I am, and I'm a mature player. I know what's good and what's bad. So with my little experience, I share with my brothers. Yeah, so we just motivate each other. Okay, you find that we are almost at the same age. So it's just a nice thing to play for Bondeni FC.
Okay, thank you so much for that. And of course, now time for Bebeto is just about to come. And because I don't want them to come back to the mic, I'll give Mama Diouf a chance to give a parting shot. I don't know if you still have something to say before we log out. Then we give Mama Diouf a chance to sign out. Then we come to the Opepeto challenge. So if there's somebody who told you I want to see the Opepeto challenge, tag in all your friends, let them come watch the Opepeto challenge between Marilyn And okay, bro. Amimo. I keep on calling you Camimo because I have a friend called Camimo, so I'll have to deal with silent the K. Amimo.
Silent the K.
Okay. So give us your parting shot.
Okay, to begin with, I'm very grateful to be part of this Morning Glory show today. Thank you for the good work you're doing, and may God continue blessing you. With football, it's a passion. If you're a parent out there, your son or your daughter has a talent, mtoto ni mtoto, usiseme we ni msichana, you can't play. Football is bringing good things out here for the children. Ukinacha hiyo talent vizuri, the child will grow into a professional footballer. Like now we have very many ladies out of the country playing football. Very many. And some of them we've been with them. And it's because their parent never denied them the chance to go and play. Even if you are a man or a boy playing football with the ladies, don't say mi sitaki kucheza na wamama. It's okay. Teach her, be her protector. It's like your sister. Usione ni kama you are playing with someone different or hautaki kucheza sababu the lady is there. Ladies training with the gentlemen makes them stronger. Ndio hata when they meet the other women's team or ladies team, they play with a strong mentality. Wako strong, wanajua jana nilichenga Mimo field, huyu msichana mwenzangu hawezi nishinda. Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much for that. Quite a powerful sign out there. Before we come to Mama Diouf, what would be your parting shot, Bwana Amimo? Now I've managed to silence the K.
Okay, before going to my conclusions, I want to say something. For this, like in this now our county right now, right? We need the county government to support even our team, even for the ladies or for the men. Let's be even two men.
I'll make these riches the governor, so you better make use of this camera so well. I'll cut that part and send it to his inbox direct.
Okay, this has been my prayer ever since. Because long time ago we used to have a lot of youth, but no, it's no longer there. So we don't have any other football club being supported by the county government. But they're just there. We have sport ministry there. We have everything there. We have transportation they can offer us. We have everything. So this is my request. If not for the men, let it be for the ladies, for the women. Even if not one, if not two, let it be one. Let it be enough for this count. We have so much talent here. We can say we have Division 1, Division 2 regionals, and there's no team being supported by the government. We are just if you don't have team managers, the players raising the money to travel, the money for the referees. That's a really big problem. So just for the county government, listen to my cry and please make something and do something. So thank you very much to the Darwin Africa and the host. My advice to my fellow bowlers, now we are bowlers now, ni kutia bidii, discipline. Football ni kama education. Usiposoma na kuna exam huwezi pita hiyo mtihani, si ndio? Ni kama hujapiga zoezi pale na unataka kwenda kucheza mpira, hauwezi perform, si ndio? So ni discipline kabisa na tukue mentally fit and tough na Mungu mbele. Asante.
Sema na Mungu mbele. Now, thank you so much. Of course, Mama Diouf will be giving a parting shot. Of course, I hope also you are ready for the Upepeto challenge. You'll be my referee for this particular one. And I think tunapepeta ngapi kwanza? Tunapepeta ngapi?
You must be this challenge.
Tunapepeta ngapi kwanza ndio tuelewane? Marilyn, 500 ama ngapi? 500 itafika. Cheke ngapi basi? Tuelewane tumalize hii story. Mama Diouf utatuamulia ni ngapi wanapepeta, si ndio? Okay, thank you so much. Give us your parting shot.
It's been a great privilege to join you guys in this show. I've always seen my friend Obadia sharing posters of this show every time, and once in a while I watch. I've never known just how deep and how much work you guys do. Thank you for supporting local football, for supporting local talents. My daughter is turning 11 today, so if I don't tell her happy birthday, she'll kill me because she's, you know.
Okay, maybe I can actually, me and you singing. So, and hope Amimo, who has the mic, can actually sing.
Yes, we are sharing.
So we shall try this. And from time to time, Mildred waonyeshe pia, usinionyeshe mimi peke yangu. So we shall count ile tu happy birthday kawaida, si ndio? Then takuwa soloist na sauti yangu mbaya. So 1, 2, 3. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Mika. Happy birthday to you. Kumbe naweza imba.
Yeah, so I had to do that because she knew I was going to be here and she was like, I have to watch it. I want to know whether you wished me a happy birthday. So, women football is very much in my heart, as much as sometimes people ask me, how are you a women representative and you have a men's team? So people do not know that when you want to talk about matters equality, you must talk about both genders. You cannot purport to be a champion of equality and you sideline the men. And also, I'm so privileged that the boys and the men in my team are so supportive of our dreams and our ambitions and of the girls, and that we work very well together. So I want to just finish off by saying that women football is going a long way. Marilyn said that the future of football is feminine. That is our slogan in the team. And it's not just about the girls playing the World Cup first. It's also about the management of football in this country. We strongly believe that if the people that elect football officials in this country can start looking at women that actually perform, that are passionate about football, are networked, and focused, then we are going to have a lot of changes going forward. An aspirant of NEC member in the country coming the next election, and I strongly believe that I can change a lot of things in football in this country. We are appealing to various stakeholders because football cannot operate in a vacuum. We are appealing to various stakeholders, right from the county governments, the national government, partners from health sectors, because there are a number of issues affecting women football matters. Sexual reproductive health and rights, a very big problem. So we are appealing for help and support from various stakeholders, even in the health department, the colleges, to offer scholarships for girls that excel in football, because a girl's football career, just like I said, is very short. What happens once she can no longer play football? She needs a career so that she can also make a good wife and a good member of the society, a productive member of the society. We cannot, in this era, it's no longer that a girl, a woman belongs at home. That is way in the past. So if we can also get scholarships for the girls, and like she said, we have a lot of talented girls now going to Europe, Tanzania. I think now maybe half the girls playing for Premier League in Tanzania come from Kenya. So let us continue providing those opportunities for growth and development for the girls in those countries and even beyond. I want to appeal, this is a special appeal to the Minister for Sports, CS Ababu Namwamba. Kindly get to the grassroots so that you can know the real problems that affect clubs, so that you can invest in the right problems. You can sit somewhere and imagine that what is lacking is footballs. Every club can afford soccer. So you can sit somewhere and think what people need are uniforms. Every club has uniforms. So get to the clubs, know exactly what people lack, and then provide the same. Networking is very important. Let's network with partners. Let's provide a conducive environment for sponsors. Let us not push away sponsors by, imposing working conditions that are not acceptable. Most of these sponsors are business people. They need money. They need return on their investment. So let us provide conducive environments for business. Actually, football is business. You have, okay, at our level, you inject money, but nothing comes out. But at that level, they have to inject money and also see something out of it. Let us scrap out the issue of administrative costs. Let us forget about that. Let us have the investors come in and pump money directly to clubs or to whatever, local federations, and just have the clubs thrive and football thriving. Thank you.
Okay, one positive comment, then one that I'll tell you.
Yeah.
So I'll start with the positive one. Yvonne Noble Jepchumba says, I'm getting inspired with the words of Madam. So that's a very nice comment. Then there's a guy called Fanuel George says, Nijiko peke yake, mimi naeza pepeta. Now, there's a reason why you have a block button. Anyway, so let's do this. I don't know, you've not given us the rules for the Opepeto challenge, because that is the last thing we need to do before I come back to sign off the show.
We will not set the bar so high. I forgot to say that Marilyn is a young mom. She just got her firstborn the other day, so she's not really, we don't want to stretch her so much. So what we are going to do is 20 pepetos. That's okay. Yeah, let's just do 20.
Okay, 20. Who starts the pepeto?
The man.
The man starts the pepeto. Okay, 20 Kazi. Mama said it's over. So please take the stand. Of course, I know the camera will be well focused on the feet. Kimu tatupanga. The field is actually being set at the moment. I pepeta. Now, anyway, as they prepare the field, it's been awesome being with you. Thank you so much for always making time to be on the Morning Glory Show. Hope you enjoyed the Pepeta Challenge. Have a beautiful weekend. Of course, somebody told me that tunawahitaji Monday. So before I move out of this camera, make sure that actually we are able to see you on Monday. So this has been the Morning Glory Show. And you want me to sign out? I really want to. Okay, let's go to the Petro Challenge. My director said I'm not signing out yet. So, okay. So, I think, are we ready for that? Yeah. When we are ready for that, tell me. Ameanza kulaumu viatu tayari. And then we love me and Fanuel also. Fanuel ameniongelesha vibaya sana this year. Yeah, we love me and Fanuel. Yeah, me and Fanuel doing 5. Fanuel can't do even 2. So we good? 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 22, 23. Wewe ukipitiza unaanza. No. 1, 2. Okay. Oh, you haven't started. Okay. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And the women lose. Okay, mwataka mimi na Fanuel. Fanuel ako wapi? Fanuel ako wapi? No, nataka niaibishe mtu. Amesema kitu mimi naweza pepeta ni jiko peke yake. Anyway, thank you so much for making time to be on the Morning Glory Show. My name is MC Kali, and till we meet again. Now, till we meet again on Monday. Oh, so actually I'm looking at the wrong direction and the wrong camera, and a camera that doesn't exist. So, my name is MC Kalia. This has been the Morning Glory Show. And till next time, see you then. But then remember, if you're going to party during the weekend, party responsibly. See you.